وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. The Honorable Director of Nahdlatul Ulama University of Surabaya, Professor Dr. Insinyur Ahmad Jazidi, Master of Engineering. The Honorable all the Director of Nahdlatul Ulama University of Surabaya. The Honorable Dr. Ubaidillah Zudi, the Dean of Faculty of Business, Economic, and Digital Technology UNUSA. The Honorable all speakers today, Dr. Srenata Gopalaro Anavati from University of New South Wales, Dr. Berlin Alkindi from Institut Teknologi 10 November Surabaya, Mrs. Rizky Putih Nurma Budiarti STMT from Nahdlatul Ulama University of Surabaya, all faculty deans of Nahdlatul Ulama University of Surabaya, all head of study program of Nahdlatul Ulama University of Surabaya, and all lectures of Nahdlatul Ulama University of Surabaya, and don't forget to all invited guests. First of all praises belong to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for the mercy and grace so we can meet in this agenda through hybrid meeting in good condition and happy situation. Secondly, peace and blessing will also be given to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness to the lightness, namely Islam religion. Thirdly, we would like to say welcome to visiting professor by the theme Intelligent Control System along with path planning and neural network, including deep neural network. Before starting our agenda today, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Abdul Kahfi as the master of ceremony of this agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, to start this event, I would like to read the agenda today. The first is opening by the MC. The second is singing national anthem, Indonesia Raya, Syubandul Waton and Hymn of UNUSA. The third is praying. The fourth is speech. And the fifth is seminar. And the last agenda is closing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for the first agenda is opening. Let's open our agenda today by reciting Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The next agenda is singing national anthem, Indonesia Raya, Syubandul Waton, and Hymn of UNUSA. For the audience, please stand up. Please have a seat. Thank you very much. The next agenda is praying. It will be led by Mr. Afan Rondoni. The floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ala hadhihi niyyah wa ala kulli niyatin shalihah wa li syafaati Rasulillah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan yuafi ni'amahu wa yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalalika wajhikal karimi wa 'azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin timbil qulub wa dawaiha wa afiyatil abdani wa shifaiha wa nuril absari wa diyaiha wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim wa aj'al faqal khafiyya fi umuri wa fi umuri muslimin ya rabbal alamin. Allahumma ya kafiyal bala ikfinal bala'il muslimin qabla nuzulhi minas sama. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa 'allimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna 'ilma. Walhamdulillahi 'ala kulli hal wa na'udzu billahi min 'adzabin nar. Allahumma sahhil umurana wa hassil maqasidana wa balighna ilaika ya Allahu ya Rahman ya Rahim. Allahumma atmim lana nurana wa ghfir lana innaka ala kulli syai'in qadir. Rabbana atmim lana nurana wa ghfir lana innaka ala kulli syai'in qadir. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadil Fatih lima uliq wal khatim lima sabaqat nasil haqqi bil haqqi wal hadi ila siratikal mustaqim walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Bisirril Fatihah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. The next agenda is speech. It is coming from Director of UNUSA, Professor Dr. Insinyur Ahmad Jazidi, Master of Engineering. To Professor Ahmad Jazidi, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished speakers, Dr. Srinathan Gopalarao Ansati from University of New South Wales, Dr. Berlian Alkindi from Institut Teknologi 10 November Surabaya, and Madam Rizky Putri Nurma Budiarti, STMT, from Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Surabaya, UNUSA. Distinguished Vice Rectors and Deans within UNUSA, the Directors, Head of Institution within UNUSA, my beloved students, ladies and gentlemen, Alhamdulillah wa syukrulillah ala kulli ni'matillah. Salatan wa salaman ala Rasulillah Sayyidina Muhammad ibn Abdullah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. First of all, I would like to thank all parties within UNUSA for holding the visiting professor event at UNUSA campus. This event is very important and strategic for all of us, considering the rapid development of technology today. Therefore, the theme of this event, intelligent control systems, along with path planning and neural networks, including deep neural networks, is a very strategic theme. Everybody knows that artificial intelligence is now becoming very important for field of computer science and research. It has high demand in the market with major applications in the field of computing and information science. Artificial intelligence have reached its height in the 5 years and is making stability in the field of computer science. Intellectual control system is a combination of hardware and software combined by general information process or machine learning mode. In recent time, human-machine interaction is known to intelligent control system. My understanding is that mobile robot autonomous navigation can be divided into 3 subsystems: information perceptions, behavior decision-making, and manipulation control. Behavior, My understanding is that the mobile robot autonomous navigation can be divided into 3 subsystems: information perceptions, path planning, behavior decision-making, and manipulation control. Path planning is the basis of mobile robot navigation and control. Goes et al., 2017, Orozco Rosas et al., 2019. The goal of mobile robot path planning is to find a path from the current positions to the target position. The path should be as short as possible. The smoothness of the path should meet the dynamics of the mobile robot, and the safety of path should be collision-free. This is the interesting one. It can be seen from the paper from Han and Siu, 2017. Regarding neural network, it is also known as artificial neural networks or simulated neural networks, are a subset of machine learning and are at the heart of deep learning algorithm. Their name and structure are inspired by the human brain, mimicking the way the biological neurons signal to one another. My interest research actually in redundant robot. And sometimes we have to select the most convenient configuration of the redundant robot, such it can avoid the collisions, while the n effector can achieve the main goal or the goal to take manipulated objects. Ladies and gentlemen, all I am saying is only the general views, and I am sure that speakers will go into some more detail. Thank you and enjoy participating in this event. والله الموافق إلى أقوم الطريق. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on the main agenda, that is seminar by the theme Intelligent Control System allowing path planning and neural network, including deep neural network. And in this session, it will be led by our moderator. Please welcome Dr. Ubaidillah Zudi. The floor is yours.
Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah, asyhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Allahumma shalli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. La haula wa la quwwata illa billah. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Mr. MC, Mr. Kafi. So, before going to the next discussion, I would like to introduce myself, especially for the Professor Srenata. My name is Ubaidillah Zuhdi. Please call me Ubay. So today I would like to be a moderator in this event, Professor. So nice to see you. And for the system of the discussion, I would like to inform you that first of all, we will have three guest lecturers. The first is from Dr. Belian. The second is main lecturer from the Professor Srenata, and the third one is Madam Rizky Putri. So, before going to the first presenter or first lecturer, I would like to read about her CV. Dr. Belian is a faculty member in Institute Teknologi 10 November or ITS, Indonesia. Previously, she was a software engineer in ICOR, Fujisawa, Kanagawa Ken, Japan for almost 4 years. Holding a PhD as the best graduates and her research background in artificial intelligence and bioinformatics. So, you are graduated from Japan's university, right? Yeah. Oh, 僕も日本から卒業しました。じゃあ、よろしくお願いします。Her work and interests revolve around the study of machine learning, computer vision, and big data analytics. So, please, Dr. Belian, time and place are yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, audience. First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for Prof. Zahidi to give me opportunity to talk and to invite us here. And at this opportunity, I would like to talk about the intelligent control system. Yes, at this morning, it is only about my short research about how to integrate and make some intelligence infrastructure for smart cities. So we build some sensor modules and then integrated with database center, and we combine this data and manage this data to be some intelligent system to make some prediction. And this system has been implemented to Surabaya city. So we already have, you already, okay. Thank you. Can we start it from the first slide?
For the first slide, please. First slide. Slide pertama, Mbak ya.
From the first slide. Okay. This is about my simple research about integrated intelligent flood mitigation system that had been implemented in Surabaya. And the background research can be next. Okay, about the smart city in Southeast Asia, as we know that Southeast Asia, we have urbanization and it's still in the early of implementation of smart cities. So if we say from 1 to 10, it's still on the 6. So we have only on the middle of smart city. And in Indonesia, only in big city, they already implement smart city, but not all to be integrated, just a small of smart city implementation. And next. So this is the background why we choose about flood mitigation, because flood is more concern in Indonesia, especially in big city. And this is the example in Surabaya that we have flood in every rainy seasons. So we're looking for the solution, and the solution is our solution is an IoT integrated sensor device with artificial intelligence for the future inundation. So we can predict the height of prediction day by day, and then next level. And next. And this is our diagram. So this is a sensor data that we built and installation in several area in Surabaya, and then we have data center, and this data center we have an AI analysis system. Next, about the monitoring device. So we make some sensor. We already tried several sensor, for example, leader sensor, and then ultrasonic sensor and others. And we decide that ultrasonic is more stable for our case. And then this is the design. We have cavity for the water floor, and then we make some module sensor, and this module sensor already installed with public lighting. So we don't need more or other installation. It's just so simple to implement it in every smart city. Next. And this is the water level reading sensor, how the ultrasonic sensor works. So as is the distance with the ultrasonic. Ultrasonic work is like we need to reflect it. Some things are object to the others, and then it divided to combine and to calculate the distance between the sensor. So by this project, we know what is the level of height of inundation of our flood. So we can combine, and then we can predict this data to the next level of inundation. Next. And this is the monitoring application. So we know the area and the height of flood at that time in the real time. And it is integrated by the database center by the government. So we know, and if the area is dangerous, so the officers can go to that area and make some action more faster. Next. And also this is the history. By this history, we can manage it to be an AI system. Next. Okay, now we talk about the artificial intelligence. So what kind of artificial intelligence could be more good or best for our problems? Okay, next. Yes, if we say in here, we know that we have raw data from sensor. Why we say raw data? Because the data is very unstructured data. Sometimes the sensor is read, sometimes the sensor doesn't send data anymore. So the data is very unstructured, and we need to make some pre-processing and then make some classifier. And then the result of our artificial intelligence sometimes is we need more post-processing. If we want to know about the condition prediction, then we use supervised learning, for example, MLV, SVM, CNN, and others. And then if we want to make some prediction of next inundation level, so we need the data for continuous data or time series edition. Okay, next. So this is our architecture about the artificial intelligence. That our purpose. Then we have one hidden layer with several sub-hidden layer, and then more hidden layer again with several sub-hidden layer. So we have two types of hidden layer with several hidden layer. Next. And our purpose method is about with cheap recurrent neural network with LSTM. So what is different between the original recurrent neural network and LSTM? It's because like LSTM is like our brain. So in our brain, we have long memory and short-term memory. So we can make some, with this the good memory and we always keep it, but sometimes not good memory, we just forget it. It is how to work its themes with our brain. So the most important data we will keep it for the next prediction, but the not good data or low data, we can step and forget it. So it's more clear and more faster to predict. So here's the difference between neural network and our purpose recurrent neural network with LSTM. Next. If we say for the graph before, so this is how we calculate our LSTM, and we have the activation function, and then we also using the softmax activation function. Is it too fast? Too fast? Can you understand it easily? The students, I mean, I believe that lectures always understand, but the student, are you understand easily? No. So I talk slowly. Okay, about the artificial intelligence that we propose 2 minutes about the problem, float problem in Surabaya, that we use long short-term memories like human brain. You can imagine that. If you have good memory, you always keep it, right? Okay. But if you have bad memory, sometimes we just want to forget it, but sometimes it's difficult. So we just keep it in some area. We just put the good memory to bring to new prediction in here, but you just to bring in your memory always. So this is how it works. And next. Okay, the next, we can calculate for NNN, recurrent neural network with many layers. It is difficult for the nodes in the layer to learn from change in Y action because the gradient arising from change in Y gradually decrease. So we put again another optimization by here. You can see here, we make some optimization again, and then we're looking for the loss function. We calculate the loss function here. So this is how to minimize our loss function. And next. Yeah, that's the difference between recurrent neural network architecture and recurrent neural network LSTM architecture that we propose. Can you find what is the difference between these two? What is the difference between the current RNN and RNLSTM? What is the difference? I'm sorry. I usually, if I teaching, I often ask the student rather than I'm talk by myself. So I need your answer to check that you are understand. So what is the difference? In here, in LSTM, we have C1 value, C2, and the more hidden layer that we have, the more layer that we have, then we have we have add on T in here, but in RNN, we don't have it. And also to put back the long short-term memory, in here we only calculate the S, but in here you also calculate the CT. So this is the difference. Okay, next. Yes, this is the implementation of our recurrent neural network with LSTM. So we just remember here, the first gate is forget gate. Just forget about the bad memories. And then next, we go to the next gate here. It is a second gate, input gate. So we have previous cell state in here, and then forget gate, and then the input gate, because we already know what is the good memory. So we just put it to the input gate. Next. Here is third gate. It is different if you, it's depend on you if you use third gate or no, because third gate is optimization process. So here we use activation function in here sigmoid, and then the blue is 10H. And then we have X is mean multiplication from our neuron, from our neuron. And next. Okay, I think this is difficult for you. Should I explain it one by one, or you can read it by yourself? The most important thing is that you understand how the architecture of LSTM, because we can just calculate it in Python. They have what is module or library that you just can put it. So the most important thing is that you understand how the architecture is work. And this is a simple. We just use sigmoid and 10H function. We don't use another activation function. And next, yeah, this is the result. So what is the result? That we have another prediction from we have two sensor, liquid prediction. And this liquid prediction, we have actual data, and the blue one is sensor performance prediction. And we make some tuning parameter. We use RNN with 60 hidden layer, and then we up again until 70. And then we combine LSTM with RNN with 60 hidden layer. And then we use LSTM RNN with 60, 70. So we have two gates. We have two hidden layer step, 60 and 70. And then LSTM RNN with 70. And we make up again LSTM RNN in 80 hidden layer. But the result between 70 and 80 is no more different. So we should take times. 80 is more longer rather than 70. So then we decide that it could be LSTM RNN is best for our case. So this is the result from our flood mitigation in Surabaya. I think that's all. Do you have any question?
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, Dr. Berlian. So please give applause to her. Okay, for the Q&A session, we will have after finishing all of the presenters, Dr. Berlian. So could you please have a seat here? Yeah, okay. Yeah, great. So Is coming from the University of New South Wales, Australia. Please give applause to him regarding his presentation. So, Professor, time and places are yours.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Director, for the nice introduction. Thanks, the compier, for nice comparing that is happening. And thanks to the moderator. I would like to thank Ms. Kindi for bringing me here. It gives me an opportunity to talk to you people, which is fantastic. And as you can see, I'm an old man. So what old people want is they want to keep talking, right? And if they want to keep talking, they need an audience. So if there is somebody who can listen to me, I'm happy to talk for hours together. Is that all right? Is that what your grandparents do in the home? Do they catch hold of you and start talking to you? Yes? No? All right. Okay. So Miss Kindi has kindly talked about already the deep neural network and something about the neural network. So quite likely that I will not be talking about the neural networks, but I'll be talking mostly about the intelligent control and the path planning. Is that okay? Fair deal? So that you don't have to sit for a very long time and you don't have to listen to my lecture for a very long time. Better? Okay. Thank you. And before I go ahead, I speak a bit fast. I try to slow down. In between, I try to go a bit fast. If I go a bit fast, please raise your hand and tell me to slow it down. Okay?
Okay.
And I keep asking you some question. I want one of you students to answer the question. If any of you do not answer, I'm not going to go ahead. I'm going to just stand here. If you want me to finish the lecture, someone has to answer the question. Is that a deal? Fantastic. Okay, that's very good. All right. And I come from the University of New South Wales. And University of New South Wales is one of the biggest universities in Australia. In Australia, there are top 8 universities, which we call them as G8 universities. And University of New South Wales is in top of that G8 university. And particularly in engineering, it's a very well-reputed university because you are all engineers and you want to do your master's, you want to do your PhD, you can come to University of New South Wales. And University of New South Wales has 2 campuses. There is a campus in Sydney, which is the main campus that we have got. And there is a campus in Canberra. Have you heard the name Canberra?
Yes.
Yes. What is Canberra?
Capital of Australia.
It is the capital of Australia. So University of New South Wales also has a small campus, not small, it's everything we have, in Canberra, and I come from Canberra. And Canberra is the most beautiful city in the world next to Surabaya. Okay, Surabaya is very good. Canberra is the best city that is there. Okay, so what I'm going to talk to you about is in terms of intelligent control systems and a bit of path planning. And I have tried to put this lecture for you students, not to the lecturers who are sitting in the front. All right. So the lecturers who are sitting in the front, please excuse me because most of the things that I talk here, you already know about it. Okay. So I wanted to talk to the students. That's why I try to keep it at a level where the students can understand it. So if you are hoping that I'm going to give you a high level talk, No, it's a very low level talk that I'm having. And I'm also having one or two examples where I show the video where we look at the implementation of these intelligent controllers, so which I'm going to show at the end of my presentation. All good?
Good.
So how much of what I speak do you understand? 50%? 20%? How much do you understand?
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. You have to answer. You have to answer his question. Please, berapa persen kira-kira tahunya? 50, 60?
50%.
50%.
Oh, fantastic. So good. So good. So good. Thank you. Most of my students in Australia can understand about 20% of what I speak. So you are very smart. Okay. Because you are very smart, we will look at smart systems, intelligent control systems. Okay. All right. Can I have the next slide, please? When we talk about intelligent systems, there are two words. There is a word called intelligent. There is a word called system. All of you are in the system. So what is the system? How much time I have got?
Around 45 minutes,
Around
Professor.
45 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, then I will go a bit quicker.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So when we talk about the systems, so a system is something which can take an input and which can give an output. Anything that takes an input and it gives an output, we call it as a system. All of us are systems. This whole class is a system. The whole university that we have got is a system. Indonesia is a system. The world is a system. So anything that we come across, if we give an input, we are going to get a output from the system. If we don't get an output, we don't call it as a system. So it is not a system anymore. All right. So when we talk about these systems, and possibly in your courses, you will have learned different types of systems. Okay. So you will have systems like robot, you will have systems like aircraft, you will have learned economy. So classroom itself is a system because the lecturer gives a input, you people absorb it, and then you give it as a output. So what is the output from the class? So what is the output from the class?
Hello. You can answer his question. So, apa output dari kelas?
So what is the output from the class? You become smarter, right?
Yes.
So the output is basically that you have become more intelligent, you have become more smart, you have got more knowledge. So that's basically the output of the class that we have got. All right. And possibly you have also looked at linear systems, nonlinear systems, and other things. Out of all those things, when we talk about the system, we are very keen on the output. And Miss Kindi talked about one of the outputs that she looked at, and she talked about a sensor perception. And when initially the introduction was given, it was clearly indicated that the first thing that you need to do in terms of intelligent systems is perception. And the perception comes from the sensors. If you have more sensors, then you are better. All of you have got sensors?
Ada yang tahu tentang sensor? Come on.
All of you have got sensors? No? You have got your ear, which is what you are hearing from, right? Yes? When I ask you to talk, so you are processing that information after hearing from here and passing that information through the mouth that you have got, which is a system that is there. And that system, if it has to work, it should have perception. And the perception basically comes from the sensors. The skin that we have got is a sensor. The eyes that we have got is a sensor. So we can use these sensors as part of our intelligent systems because intelligent systems cannot exist if there are no sensors. Do any of you know how many sensors are there, say like in a car, Tesla car?
Ada yang tahu berapa sensor di mobil?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20. How many sensors are there? Okay, you can find out because it is something which is very interesting. The Tesla cars are supposed to be the smartest cars at this point of time. And the smartness comes basically because of the quality of sensors that they have put into the system. But by just having sensors, we cannot do more. We need to do what the next step from the sensors is to process the information that we get from the sensors. That's where basically intelligence comes into picture. Okay, can I have the next one, please? So when we talk about intelligence, and all of you are very intelligent, yes? So what is intelligence?
Apa itu intelligence? Come on. Ada yang mau menjawab? Mencoba menjawab? Don't worry, jangan terlalu khawatir. Ada yang mau menjawab?
Anybody? What is intelligence?
Apa itu intelligence? Yeah, please use in English. Anyone? Or yeah, maybe Madam Rizky Putri, could you please try to answer for giving the trigger for all of audience?
Yes,
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. Any of you can answer what is intelligence? Because all of you are intelligent, right?
Right.
What is intelligence?
Here, the ability to solve complex problems or make decision with outcome using the brain.
Yes, fantastic. So you read the definition, fantastic, which is very good. So she indicated that the capacity or capability to solve complex problems is what we have got as the intelligence. And how can we solve complex problems? So how do we solve complex problems in life? The life teaches. So what does that life teach to us? It says that you go through all this process, which is basically a training process, and use that information that you have learned through training so that when there is a new problem that comes to you, can you use your thinking process to modify the way that you can solve that particular problem? And if you can solve a problem which is not seen by you, then you become intelligent. And to get an idea whether that problem is something that is known to us or not, we try to use the perception of sensors. So if you are put in a different environment, is it possible for us to use the information or the training that we have got so that I'll be able to solve that problem? Makes me intelligent. And that's what we want to do in the robots. So we want to make our robots to think like human beings. So we want to put these intelligent systems into the robots. And when we talk about the robots, okay, can we have the next one, please? Yeah. So when we talk about these intelligent systems, and in fact, it doesn't matter whether robots or what, there are three things that are associated with any system. If you want to learn anything, there are three things that you need to worry about. The first thing is how to learn. Second thing is what to learn. The third thing is when to learn. So when you say how to learn, that is the easiest thing because you can train. You can make somebody to go through the same problem 10 times, 20 times. That's what we do by saying that how to learn. If you have a neural network, you can train the neural network by simply keep giving the data repeatedly so that it can learn how to repeat what you are asking it to do. Most of us initially are trained like that. So if somebody asks me what is 2 plus 3, because I have been trained, I immediately say it is 5. It is the repetition that I get because I have been trying to do that. All right. So when we look at how to learn, basically it is the easiest thing that we have got because you can hammer the information and try to get the output and make somebody to learn. That's what all machine learning does. What machine learning does is keep giving the information, it will learn how to reproduce the output that is being asked for. Okay. But the next two things that I have got in terms of when to learn and what to learn, and those are the ones that are trying to make us intelligent. And in particular, when to learn is what it makes us intelligent. Because what to learn is also something that is told by somebody. But when to learn is something that we need to get depending upon the situation that we are in. And if we can adapt to the situation based on the information that comes from the sensors, then we are smart. So that when is something that you need to be thinking all the time. And when you go to an examination, when you write your examination, when is where, that is what you are thinking about. And if you at that time use all the training that you have learned in the class and in the tutorials, so that you can modify your thinking to answer the question that is given in the examination. And if you do right or if you do well, then you are smart. Is that how you call yourself smart? When somebody gets 90% in the class, we say that guy is very smart. Yes?
Yes.
And how did he get that? He used the same information, but he could think on the spot in the examination to use that information and write an answer which suits the lecturer. Then the lecturer is going to give you 90% of the marks. He's very smart because he has studied the lecturer. This is what the lecturer wants me to answer.
Mm.
Is that right? Perfect. So all of you are smart, so you can do that next time. Very good. Okay. All right, I can go to the next one. When we talk about this, how to learn, so Miss Kindi talked about supervised learning. There are also other techniques like unsupervised and reinforcement. And out of that, currently in terms of intelligent systems, reinforcement learning is being used in a very big way. What is reinforcement learning? My dad taught me to say that if you go to the school, I will give you a chocolate or a lolly. My mom told me, if you write today for 1 hour, I will give you a nice food. So she rewarded me for everything that I did. And that's what your mom is doing. That's what your dad is doing. And that's what your teacher is doing. If you write well, you are going to get more marks. Then you will get a certificate saying that you are the smartest in the class. So you get a reward based on what you are trying to learn and how you learn that. Yes? You do that?
Yes.
So what is the encouragement? If you do well, you are going to get more rewards. All right? So if you do well, you are going to get more rewards. Similarly, we want to make the robots to learn to say that if you do a good job, I'm going to reward you. Whereas many times my parents or your parents or teachers punish you, saying that if you don't do this, I'm going to make you to sit outside. If you don't do this, I will put you in the room for the whole day. If you don't do this, you can't go to the movie. So there is a negative reward as well, which is also used in terms of robot learning. So we try to tell the robot, if you don't do something properly, you are going to get a negative reward. So the robot is always trying to see whether it can get a positive reward. By getting a positive reward, it wants to learn more and more so that it becomes intelligent, which is what we do in terms of the reinforcement learning. And everything that we do is related to what human beings have been doing. There is nothing that is away from what human beings do. Okay, thank you. Can I have the next one, please? Probably, okay, we can. The advantage of having more sensors is, you all know about feedback systems.
Pada belajar feedback system kan? Monggo, ada yang bisa menjelaskan? Anyone can inform us regarding the feedback system?
You all know about feedback systems? Yes?
Yes, of course.
Yes, no? Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So everything that we do in terms of intelligence is using the feedback systems, because feedback is something that is very important so that you can monitor what is the output. And if the output is not good, can I change myself so that I can make it better? So all feedback systems are intelligent, but we want to add more intelligence to the feedback systems. So open loop systems are not intelligent. So that's why you have a lecturer to help you. You have your friend to help you so that you can become better. So which is what we do in terms of you have more and more sensors and use the feedback system so that you get better intelligent systems. Yeah, can I have the next one, please? And when we talk about intelligent systems, all that is basically associated with the control systems. And control system is the brain of the robot. All right. So if any of you is studying control system, is anybody studying control systems? Yes, you are the smartest because you are the brain of everything that happens in this world. The control system is the most important subject that you are learning in your course. Okay. So try to give more importance to control systems because that is what is used everywhere to make you more and more intelligent. Okay. So when we talk about these control systems, so there are what are known as classical control systems, which you study in your class, like normal feedback system, then PID controllers that you have learned. So they are all basically classical controllers, but we want intelligent controllers. So if you want to have intelligent controllers, we look at what are known as rule-based controllers because all human beings work on rules. Do you work on rules? Do you work on rules? When you registered, you got nice breakfast. So that's why you came to this lecture.
Yes.
Yes, there is a rule.
Yes.
Yes. Because you ate your breakfast, you are sleeping. So there is a rule. Because you are trying to sleep, I am trying to wake you up by my lecture. Yes. So everything that we do is based on the rules. There is nothing that works in this world without a rule. Miss Kindi called me here because what is the rule? I wanted to keep you awake for next 45 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So we form everything based on the rules, and fuzzy and neural systems are basically two important control systems which use these rules. And in the fuzzy control system, we use the rules directly. Whereas in the neural network systems, we try to implement those rules using all the neurons and the connections that we have got. So the rules are trained or built in using the weights and the neurons, the hidden layers, or whatever that you have got in a neural network. But in a fuzzy system, we try to use those rules directly. So that means they are very nearer to the human beings. All right. So I'll talk a little bit about these fuzzy systems because that is something which I have got a lot of passion about. I do a lot of work on fuzzy systems. Okay. So can we have the next one, please? So I have got a paradox in terms of the fuzzy system. So one of you who is smart in the class, who is the smartest in the class? Who is the smartest in the class?
Siapa yang paling pintar dalam? Nadif. Oh.
Okay. She already answered one question. So who is the next smartest?
Siapa yang paling
Okay.
pandai?
Can you answer me the first question that I have got there? I'm a barber. The barber is somebody who cuts the hair.
Yes.
Okay. I come to Surabaya. I come to Unuza. And what do I tell? I want to say that I want to do the hair cutting here. All right. So what do I say? I say that I shave all and only those men who don't shave themselves. All right. So anybody, if I walk around, if there is somebody who hasn't shaved properly, I call him and tell him that I want to shave you because I'm a barber. All right. The problem comes now. Say like first day I have shaved myself because I am smart. Next day I'm going to get the hair on me. So what am I going to do? Because I have got the hair, I want to shave. If I want to shave, I can't shave myself because I only shave those people who do not shave themselves. If I am trying to shave myself, so that means I am trying to shave myself, so I can't shave myself. If I don't shave, I'm going to have the hair. So what am I going to do now? So I need to catch hold of myself and shave. So that means it is a paradox that we have got, which is very difficult to solve. And we have got a lot of these paradoxes in the home. When your parents ask you to do something, father asks you to do something, mother asks you to do something, there is a confliction, you don't know what to do then. So how are you going to solve those problems? To solve such problems, so we try to use the fuzzy logic because normal logic does not solve those types of problems. You can have the next one, please. Sir, if you tell me about 15 minutes that I have got, then I will finish
Okay.
up whatever that
Okay.
is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will.
Thank you. So when we talk about fuzzy systems, all of you heard the term fuzzy?
Hello, anyone?
All of you have heard the term fuzzy?
Ada yang tahu tentang fuzzy system?
Just fuzzy.
Yeah, anyone? Understand regarding the fuzzy?
Yes? Okay,
Come on.
most of the speaking that I am doing is very fuzzy, right? So you said you can understand only 50%. So that means 50% is not clear to you. So it is all blurred. Correct? So that's how we are. We see everything in a very blurred way or fuzzy way. When you look at the TV, initially when you put the TV will take a little bit of time to focus. So till the time you get a blurred image. So that blurring is what we call as fuzzy. All right. So in this world, practically everything that we have got is fuzzy. You agree with me? There is nothing clear cut. So no lecturer is going to tell you, I am going to give you this particular problem. And if you solve it in this way, you are going to get 100%. No lecturer is going to tell you. So he leaves it fuzzy. So he is trying to say, quite likely that you may get a problem similar to this. And possibly if you answer in this way, you may get nearly 95%. Is that right? Nobody commits critically to say that this is what exactly I want. And when you say, my tummy is full, I had my breakfast, what do you mean by saying that my tummy is full? Can you eat a bit more?
Anyone?
Can you eat a bit more? When you say like you had your breakfast, you say, okay, I am full now. If I give you another additional sweet, will you be able to eat? And if particularly the sweet is something which you like very much, will you be able to eat? Yes. So you can expand your tummy to eat a bit more, right? Sometime when the breakfast is not very good,
Yes.
you have the breakfast in front of you, it is not very good. You say, oh, I'm already full. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good, right? So we are happy to adjust ourselves with the blurriness that is there. There is no definition to say that I should eat exactly 1 kilo of rice in the morning to fill my tummy. Is that right? Similarly, when you talk to your friend, when you talk about happiness, when you talk about the beauty that is there, when you talk about anything, we always talk it in a blurry way. There is no clear-cut way of talking anything.
Yes.
When you say you are smart, what is the definition of smart? If you get 95%, are you going to be smart?
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah,
How
possibly.
about somebody who gets 96%? How about somebody who gets 94%? Is still smart? Yes?
Yes, I think so, Professor.
Yes. So that way, it's very difficult for us to define everything by numbers.
Yes.
Because we can't define everything by numbers, we live in a very blurry world. You all think that I am very rich, yes? Do you all think that I am very rich? Yes? So what is your definition of rich? That I have got $10,000 with me, $50,000 with me, $100,000 with me, $1 million with me. What is rich for you?
Yes.
No definition.
No
There
definition.
is no definition in this world which says that if I have got $1 million, I am the richest man. No. So these definitions that we have got in terms of human beings are relative. So depending upon, say like if two of you are sitting, if somebody has got 100,000 rupiah, somebody has got 50,000 rupiah, the guy who is having 100,000 rupiah is rich. The guy who is having 50,000 rupiah is poor. So they are relative terms. And in this world, we all work with these blurred relative terms. All right. Yeah. Okay. So the next one, please. Okay. The next one. We use a lot of words like this, which are all basically blur. So when you say like, he is very tall or he is tall, or when somebody says that our Surabaya is today a bit warm. So what do you mean by saying bit warm today? So you never say that today the temperature is 25 degrees and the humidity is 30%. That is why it is warm today. Do you talk like that to anybody? You never. But by perception, we say, oh, today it's a hot day here. So everything that we talk about in terms of human beings is basically trying to talk in terms of fuzziness. So that fuzziness is sitting
Fuzziness.
everywhere, that whatever we try to do. And we want to use that fuzziness to our advantage in fuzzy intelligent systems. Okay, so can we go to the next one? Same thing. Okay, we'll have the next one, please. We can also have the next one. Yeah. So just to give you an indication to say that mathematics that you have learned, you have learned a lot of mathematics. You have all learned a lot of mathematics.
Semua belajar matematika kan?
Yes.
Yes.
Mathematics works only with crispness. When you say a circle, can somebody define what is a circle? What is a circle?
Ada yang bisa menjelaskan circle? Lingkaran itu apa? Yeah, it's it's
Okay.
circle.
You have all of you like soccer because Indonesian people like soccer, right? So what is the shape of the soccer ball? What is the shape of the soccer ball? What is the shape of the soccer ball?
Circle.
Spherical. It is a sphere.
Sphere.
Mathematically, what is a sphere?
Mhm.
Mathematically, a sphere is, by definition, if you have got a three-dimensional object, if you have a center, the distance from the center to any point on that three-dimensional object is the same. Then you call it as a sphere. Is that right? Yes. So that is how we define in mathematics a sphere. But if you look at a soccer ball, there are so many grooves on that.
Yes.
They have put names, they have put stickers, and the shape is never exactly a sphere. But we are happy to assume that it is a sphere, right? So that vagueness is what something that human beings are used to. And can we use it in the robots as well? To say that I don't want this. I want to be like this.
Okay.
I'm happy if I am distorted. I don't want to be perfect. If you are perfect, then you have a problem. What is the problem? You need to be perfect. If you are not perfect, if you are very casual, you can be casual. Whatever you do is fine. It is accepted. He's a casual guy. Everything is fine. Somebody is very formal. You expect that he's going to wear a tie. He's going to have a suit. He's going to come with nice polished shoes. If the shoes are not polished, you think, what is wrong with this guy? He's so neat, but his shoes are not polished, right? So I want to be a casual guy here rather than a perfect person.
Yes.
Okay, so can I have the next one, please? To account for this casualness that we have got, so normally what we do in terms of fuzzy systems is we associate what is known as a degree of membership. When somebody says that he is rich, somebody says he is not rich, we try to associate a membership to say that he is rich, say like, because he has got some $1 million, but that is something like about 50% compared to somebody else who has got $200,000. So we try to associate a degree of membership for everything that we do, because in mathematics set theory, there is no degree of membership. It is only true or false. Either you are sitting here or you are not sitting there. Anybody who is on the door is not allowed to either speak here or go out from here. So we try to put this membership as something that is used to claim for the fuzzy system that we have got. Okay, can I have the next one, please? And when we talk about this degree of membership, so you can use any membership function that you want, and triangles are the most easiest ones. Can anybody tell me why did you learn triangles as the first thing in your geometry?
Ada yang bisa menjelaskan mengapa harus mempelajari hal ini? Triangular.
Did you learn triangles in your geometry? No triangles in geometry. Come on.
Ada yang tahu?
In your
terkait hal itu?
preliminary school, they will have taught you geometry,
Yeah.
triangles. You
Ada
can't
yang
say
tahu?
no.
Anyone?
Is there?
Anyone, please? Sorry. Oh yeah.
Okay.
They don't understand, Professor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the most simplest object that you can get in terms of 2D, which can be generalized for a lot of things. Okay, if I put it down, it can become a straight line. If I put it up, then it becomes a triangle. So normally we try to use these triangular membership functions to identify, to say that if somebody is, say, like 35 years old, can I classify that person as either young, or can I classify that person as middle-aged? What do you think? Somebody who is 35 years old, is he a young man or is he a middle-aged man?
Ya. Masuk di kategori mana? Muda, tua, middle, middle.
If you tell him young, he is very happy. If you tell him he's a middle-aged man, he thinks I'm just 35. You're already calling me a middle-aged man, right? So what do? Is we try to say that, okay, you are somewhat young, but you are also somewhat getting old. So you are somewhere in the middle as well. So we try to say that you are somewhat young by saying that you are nearly about 50% young, because you are not very young. So you are slightly grown beyond the youngness, but you are nearly getting there in terms of the middle age. So we say you are nearing to the middle age. So we try to put for that 35 years, 2 membership associations. Sometime if I want, I can call him as young. Sometime I can call him as middle-aged man. And that is basically decided by how much association he has got with either young or the middle. And that's what we do in terms of the fuzzy systems, to look at what is the association that we can put for any perception that comes to us. Okay. All right. Okay. The next one, please.
Excuse me, Professor. The time is 15 minutes left.
15 minutes. Thank you very much. Okay. You can have the next one, please. So when we talk about the fuzzy systems, basically a fuzzy system simply consists of these functions, which are exactly similar to what human beings are. Okay. So if there is an input, and let us say the temperature is the input today. Okay. So the temperature is about 30 degrees. Today the temperature is about 30 degrees. How much is the temperature in Surabaya today? Possibly 30 degrees, 27, 28.
Anyone?
Okay, so let us say that it is 30 degrees. Okay, today possibility is about 30 degrees because I'm already sweating. So if I have got 30 degrees as a measurement from a thermometer, because everywhere you have the thermometers all around Surabaya, then what we do is we try to do what is known as a process of fuzzification. So what is the process of fuzzification? we try to say that that 30 degrees, we can say, is possibly hot. It is possibly not very hot. So that possibly hot and not very hot, we try to associate a degree of membership to that 30 degrees, saying that possibly it is bit hot. So it may be about 20% hot, but it is possibly about 70% medium. So it is tolerable. So that's what we try to say. So we call that process as a fuzzification by associating a degree of membership to the input that we are trying to get from the system. Once we do that, if it is 30 degrees, so what do you expect if it is hot? You want to turn on the air conditioner so that it becomes better, right? So to turn on the air conditioner, you try to make a decision by saying that, yes, I am feeling hot, so I need to have the air conditioner on. If you feel like it is a bit cold, then you say, I want to put the heater on. So you try to make a rule based on this fuzzification to say that, what do I want to do as an action for my robot? So if the robot thinks that possibly you are feeling hot, I want to go and start the air conditioner, okay? Then we have, similar to the fuzzification, there is a process called defuzzification, because there can be a number of rules. It can't be one rule. There can be a number of rules which we come across. So we want to put all of them together and try to look at what is the final action that we want. The final action is once again a crisp action. Either you want to put the switch on or you don't want to put the switch on. Or you want to start the AC or you don't want to start the AC. So it becomes a crisp action. To get this crisp action, we try to do what is known as a defuzzification. That's all what an intelligent control system consists of. Okay. It simply takes an input. It tries to think like human beings. And then based on that information that is there, it tries to create rules or uses the rules. And based on those rules, it wants to give you an output which can be fed to the actuator that you have got in your robot. If you want it to move, then there's a motor which you want to start. All right. If you want something to be picked up, then you try to give a stimulus to the arm of the robot. So which is the action that we try to give it for our system. Okay. Can I have the next one, please? Next one, please. Yeah. And probably the next one. Most of the rules in terms of fuzzy systems are exactly similar to what the human beings have got the rules. I told you that the simplest rule that we have got is, if you give me breakfast, I come and listen to your lecture. If you give me lolly, I'm going to do the work for you. If you take me to the movie, then I will sit with you to solve the problem for you. So those types of rules are basically what we have got in terms of these fuzzy systems. So any fuzzy system, can you write the rules in terms of whatever way that we want it? We have a lot of flexibility in writing the fuzzy rules. There are no rigid guidelines for human beings. We all agree that there are no rules for the human beings?
No, I don't say that.
So there are no
Yeah.
rules for the human beings.
Yeah, it will be chaos, Professor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can form our own rule in that chaos that we have got. So these rules are formed by us in any way that we want. Okay, so that is the major advantage that we have got with the fuzzy systems. Okay, can I have the next one, please? Yeah, this is the same thing that I have been talking about. Okay, so the next one. And somebody who is really interested in terms of fuzzy systems, generally there are two types of fuzzy systems. What is known as Mamdani fuzzy system, and the second one is Takagi-Sugino fuzzy system. All right. The Mamdani fuzzy system is more similar to human beings, whereas the Takagi-Sugino is a hybrid between human beings and mathematics. If somebody likes mathematics very much, then they can go with the Takagi-Sugino method. If somebody likes only human beings, then they can go with the Mamdani method. All right. Because anything that we do in control systems, we need to show that that control system is a stable control system. All of you heard the term stable? Have you heard the term stable? Stability.
Stability. Anyone can explain regarding the stability? Yeah, it's just from your opinion, it's okay. How about anyone? Yuk, tidak apa-apa. Stable itu apa gitu ya? Jenengan-jenengan bisa menjelaskan dengan bahasa sendiri.
Okay. So a stable system is something which if you give a disturbance, it is not going to be bothered about. It comes back to the original condition. All right. When I stand here, if you shout at me, if I don't go away from here, I'm a stable person. Make sense? When you shout at me is a disturbance that I have got. And what I have done, I said, I'm not going to worry about the shouting that you have got. I'm going to still stand here. So I'm a very stable person. Make sense?
Stable.
Most of us
Yeah.
want to be stable persons.
Yeah.
And if you don't show that your controller is stable, you can't use those control systems. To show that stability, you require mathematics. So we always use a combination of mathematics and human beings to show that I can have this controller for me. So that is when actually we try to use this Takagi-Sugino technique, because it is very difficult to use mathematics associated with the Mondani. Okay. So most of the control systems that we have implemented, they're all with the Takagi-Sugino technique. Now the next one, please. So this is how we really build our systems. I'll show you one or two examples where we have built these systems and then give you some practical examples. You can go to the next one. Yeah, possibly as an example. So we'll show the video of the example that we have got. So can I have the first video with Telemaster? Okay. That's one of our fixed wing aircraft that we have got. Okay. And for the fixed wing aircraft to fly, when you fly normally, you have got a pilot to who flies the aircraft, or if you have got a UAV, then you have got a remote control for flying the aircraft, right? So here we wanted to remove that pilot as well, and we wanted to remove the remote control that we have. So we wanted to put a controller there, which can look at the sensor data and given a command, whether it can execute those commands. Okay. So that means it is a self-flying aircraft. So a self-flying aircraft is a drone that we have got without a remote control. So we have put a fuzzy controller into this, and the fuzzy controller takes a command saying that you go up and you go down. So you try to do the execution that I'm asking you to do. So that fuzzy controller is basically what we have used in this to talk about the way that we can control the aircraft. All right. So it is all flying by itself. So there is no human being associated in trying to fly the aircraft there. And that was the first fuzzy controller that like my group and myself and my students put it in. So I'm very proud of that. So I show that as the first slide everywhere. All right. To say that that's what we are trying to do. And it's very easy. It's not difficult to do that. So even though it all does, but it is pretty easy to do it. Okay. Okay. So I will have the next example probably, which may have more sense to you than this. Yeah. Any one of them is fine. So probably you can put the one which has got the obstacles. Which is the one? No, that one. Not that obstacle. So that will be like the next one. So we can go back to the previous one. No. Go back. Go back. You can minimize that. Minimize it. Minimize that. Minimize that. Okay, then we have got. You can put that. Or maybe we can show the other one. Okay, we can show this first and then we can go to the other one. Sorry.
No problem.
This is one more example where we have used the fuzzy control systems. So what we have done is, these are a number of very small ground robots, which are basically called as turtle bots. So these turtle bots have got a processor which we can program in any way we want it to do. Okay. So what we have done here is we have put a number of these turtle bots. When a number of them work together, we call that process as swarming. Okay. So we have a swarm of ground robots that are there. And what are they supposed to do? They are supposed to avoid all these obstacles that are on the way. So if I have a robot, there is a human being. I don't want the robot to go and clash or hit the human being. If there is a pillar, I don't want the robot to go and hit the pillar. If there is a door, I don't want the robot to go and hit the door. If there is a wall, I don't want the robot to go and hit the wall. So I need to build in what is known as obstacle avoidance, which is an intelligence that is built in into these robots. And how do you identify the obstacle? We have got sensors which identifies that there is a obstacle. One of the sensor Ms. Kindi talked about in terms of trying to identify the distance. So we use the same sensor that is there, except that it is a LiDAR. LiDAR is the same thing similar to what she talked about, which transmits a signal and it reflects the signal back. The signal, when it comes back, using the difference that we have got in terms of the time, we try to identify how far is the obstacle from us. And based on that, we try to say that you can go around the obstacle, which is basically what that example is trying to do. So this is a graphical simulation of the same thing where all these obstacles that are, all these vehicles are moving around. We have got a number of these robots and we have put all these obstacles that are there on the way. And we do these experiments inside the lab using what is known as a Vicon system. The Vicon system is a camera-based system which can identify where exactly each one of these robots are. The Vicon system is similar to a GPS. All of you heard the term GPS? Yeah.
Yeah, of
So what is
course.
the idea of GPS? What does it give us? What do you get? What do you get the information from the GPS?
Location, maybe?
The location.
Yeah.
So you get the location. Inside a lab, you can't use a GPS because it is masked. So because of that, we try to use this Vicon system, which is going to do the job for us. I've got one more example, so we'll go to the next one, please. No, the other one. No, this is what we saw already. Not this one. Oh, okay, there are only three, is it? Okay. Can you make it bigger? Yeah, okay.
Bisa? Atau videonya ada yang
You can't see that? Okay, I have got one more example here where we have got a bigger ground robot, so which is basically like class of jackals. So what it is supposed to do is there is a wall around. There is a small strip that we have got, so there is a wall around. It can't go and hit against any wall, but it needs to start from a point which is what we call as the origin, and it has to go and reach a particular point which we call as the target. And all of you have seen Google Maps. You use the Google Maps.
Yes.
Why do you use the Google Maps? To find the location. So if you want to go from one point to another point, you try to find a path that you can use, and that's what exactly we do in terms of the path planning. So we start from here and tell the robot to say that I want you to go here so that you are not going to hit anything that is there on the way. All right. That's basically what is called as path planning. And the path planning is the most important thing in terms of trying to do or trying to tell what the intelligent controller should do. Because unless somebody tells what the intelligent controller should do, there is no way that the intelligent controller can do anything. All of you heard about the command input in control systems? The command,
Comment.
target, reference. In your block diagrams, the left circle that you have got an input arrow with an R in front of it. It
Yes.
says that that is a reference input or a command. No? Okay. So you have got a car with you. All right. Just because you have got a car with you, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with your
Anyone?
car that you have?
Ada yang bisa memberi informasi? Anyone, please?
You have got a car, you have got a license for driving your car.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And the car is filled up with petrol, gas.
Yes.
So everything is ready. So what are you going to do? You are not going to do anything because you don't know what to do. When I come and tell you, can you come to Surabaya? Can you come to ITS? Then you will say, okay, I want to go to Surabaya, ITS. So you start driving towards ITS. So then when you are driving your car, you are the controller who is there for the car. For you to drive your car, you need a command. And that command is given by me to say that, can you come to ITS?
ITS.
If I ask you to come to ITS, then you take your Google map and strategize what is the best way that I can use to reach ITS.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
And that path that you are trying to use is what we try to give as a command to the robot.
Comment.
If there is no command, the robot is useless.
Yes.
Okay?
Not working.
So this
Yes.
path planning is something which is very important. Trying to tell this robot to say that this is what you should do. Then only the intelligent controller uses the sensors that are there and try to do the job for us. Okay. So in this case, so this is the human being who is there on the path, which is a dynamic obstacle, and the robot should not hit the human being. So it tries to go around him because it has got the sensor which can identify that there is a human being in front of him. Okay. So that it has become smart enough to identify that there are obstacles, and that simply uses a simple fuzzy logic control system that we have put into that. Okay. And I've got some more examples, but possibly like we'll stop here.
Okay.
So that if there are any questions, then
Yeah.
that's a better way of.
Okay, Professor. Okay. Any questions? But yeah, please give applause to Professor Renata regarding his presentation. Thank you so much, Professor. So I will ask one or two questions from audience. Oh yeah, please, Mas, could you please introduce yourself first, and then please give the question for him.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir. My question special for Mrs. Berlian.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, you can ask to her and him. Yeah. So
Okay,
two
Ms.
questions.
Kendi,
Okay.
you.
Before let me introduce myself, my name is Muhsin Maulana. You can call me Muhsin. I'm from Information System student 2022 period. The question is, if there is a problem of intelligence control system, how how long do we need to fix it? Please explanation about this. Okay, thank you. Maybe enough for me. The last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, masih apa tadi?
Muhsin.
Okay, Smoksin. How long we solve the problem is depend how big our problem, how good our data, and how the goal of our research, the goal of the intelligence system, how difficult the goal. So if you have good data and the problem is simple, and also the goal is not really difficult, it would be finish it faster. So it depends from these three reasons: the data, the problem, and the goal. Is it
Very
clear?
fuzzy. It's very, very fuzzy.
Mas Musin,
Okay.
do you understand her answer?
Kayaknya tergantung masalah tersebut, karena kan alasan dari masalah tersebut itu kayak pemecahan masalahnya tuh
Yeah. Yeah. You are in the right line. Yeah. I mean, Dr. Hindi told to us that there are three factors that influencing the problem solving. The first one is the problem itself. The second one is data, and the third one is goal. Yeah. So if we have the factors, then we can say how long we can solve the problem. At least I understand about that. Is it correct, Dr. Gindi? Yeah. From Professor Surenata, could you please inform to us regarding the maybe some kind other point of view regarding the answer? His question.
Exactly the same. The first thing is you need to know what problem you are trying to solve. Only if you know what problem you are trying to solve, then you can think about the other things around that. Okay. If she is trying to solve the problem associated with flooding that happens in Surabaya, okay, then she needs to have a history of the flooding for the last 15 years, 10 years, 20 years. If you have more data, then it makes it better in terms of prediction. Using that, she can classify to say that, okay, quite likely that next year it may flood. Tomorrow it may flood. So that then that information is collected and passed on to the officers that are there around. So one is directly measuring the flood. The second one is, can you also use that information for prevention, which is what the second main important objective of her research is. It's not just trying to say that there is a flooding. Can you take precautionary measures so that they're like, if the people there around that can be moved? So the data that you are looking for is based on what problem that you have got. Okay. There are some problems for which you require data for 10 years. If you are looking at the solar system, you require the data for 100 years. If you are looking at only the finances of your pocket, you require the data for only the last 1 month. Okay. So it depends on what problem that you are looking at. Make sense? No?
Any comment from Mas Muhsin? It's a discussion, yeah. So don't worry about your answer and your opinion. It's up to you. So do you have any argument?
There is no
Enough?
enough.
Okay, thank you so much. Please give applause to Mas Muhsin. Thank you, Professor. Before going to the next presenter, I would like to ask one question more for Professor Srinata or Dr. Kindi. Anyone have any questions? One question before going to the next presenter. Anyone? Come on, it's a very rare opportunity, I think, yeah. Because, you know, the Professor Renata come here offline from the Australia. Yeah, it's a little bit far from Surabaya. Yeah, it's a very rare opportunity. Please use this opportunity, Mas and Mbak. Come on. Not yet? Okay, so please write your question in the notes, yeah. And after finishing the last presenter, so please ask as many as possible to the lecturers. Okay? Okay, so thank you very much.
Make one
Okay,
small comment.
okay.
Nobody asked any question. So that means there are two possibilities. So what are the two possibilities? Either you understood everything or you did not understand anything. No fuzziness there. Okay. So which one is true? You did not understand anything.
It's a fuzzy, Professor, fuzzy.
Okay. Let us look at the
Okay.
first one. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Professor, could you have a seat here? So, okay, thank you so much. Okay, once again, please give applause to Professor Renata. Okay, so we are going to the next presenter for the next lecturer. We call Madam Rizky Putri Norma Budiarti. Time and place are yours.
Thank you, Mr. Ubaid Lahzudi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, good morning, everyone. And good morning to Professor Srinata and Miss Dr. Kindi. Okay, I would like to bring my presentation. Okay. Okay, first of all, my name is Rizky Putri Norma Budiarti, and I'm a lecturer in Information System Department, Fakultas Ekonomi Bisnis and Technology Digital, UNUSA. And I would like giving a speech about our implementation using AI. And already? Maybe the two speaker before, the great speaker before has told about the concept of AI and fuzzy learning. Me giving a speech with the title Deep Learning for Drowsy Eye and Mass Detection. It's one of implementation using AI. Okay, next. Okay, so with the content, I would like to tell about the backgrounds and why we are giving the solutions and related work about the papers we learned from it and the implementation, experiment, discussions, and calculation and future works, and some point of tips for the student. Okay, next. Okay, you know that during pandemic, people need to wear masks until now, I guess. And while every year in Indonesia, car accident increase because of 69.7% human error and 51.3 because of infrastructure error. So to prevent the car accident because of driver faults, we given the solutions. Next, we use AI, artificial intelligence, in deep learning, trust AI, and mass detections. We use embedded system here, so it can be embedded to the car. Next. So we study from the paper with SSD-MN-V2, a real-time DNN-based face mask detection system using single-shot detector, multi-box detectors, and mobile net version 2. Actually, the system similarly like this. So we use the input the data set from data set face and data set mask. And then we do the data cleaning and pre-processing. After that, we splitting the data, which using 70% training data and 30% for testing data. And then we training the model, and saving the model, and testing the model to get the detections image of face and mask. Next. And also we study from the paper from real-time traffic recognition system based on deep learning and embedded platform, which is that this paper using our platform, Samsung's 6818653 ERM series, which using data sets with glasses, myopia, black glasses. So we use it to take the data sets to drowsy eye. Next. So our implementations, but I'm not using Samsung. I'm using Jetson Nano Development Kit for GB for AI. And the detection drowsy eye, we use deep learning using MobileNet version 2. What is MobileNet version 2? Anyone know? It's actually it's what is it? Upgraded from MobileNet version 1 that is using for mobile vision recognitions, like for detections, face or any kind of the problem, or sometimes using for segmentations or etc. So we use a sensor, webcam sensor, and the programs we built in GPU, and then we get the model data. So the model's predictions we embed to Jetson Nano, and then we use LCD monitor to check that the program is okay to detect the mask or the drowsy eye. So for the part of the car system, we use the DC converter tool to support it while we scanning the driver when driver ride in. Okay, next. So this is implementation with my student lab, Bagus Wahyu Caksono. Okay, please. So first we use in the computer system, or we embed into embedded system. Almost detection when we use the mask, almost having one people who have business travel during pandemic. So if the travel get, yeah, we can give them the alarm. Yes, this is AI. This learning usually the algorithm is deep neural network. This is when we use in the core. So we check the system okay and can detect while the driver drive. Okay, we can next to the next slide. Yeah, this we use the experiment for 1 epoch and until 600 epochs. Well, we found that for mass detections we get the 99% accuracy, but using drowsy eyes we got around 80%. And next, and for 600 epoch. This gives excellency result for the mass detections, but for the drowsy eye, yeah, almost 87, 84% something. Next. So we get the research still in the development because we want to integrate it with the NLP, natural processing language, and immersive technology. Okay, and next. Okay, this is for student information system. If you like to study AI, you can go to MobileNet. What is MobileNet? MobileNet first do is improvement over the system MobileNet version 1, which is this can be used for classifications, object detection, or segmentation, semantic segmentation. The MobileNet version 2 is using the library of TensorFlow that you can doing an easy things. Next, if me and my team using Jetsons or Extra or Python notebook, yeah, you can use easy way. You can use Google Collapse, yeah, collaborative integration with Google Cloud. So you can go to Collaborate Google. You can register using your email from your campus, and then you can see here that the Google Collapse have a TensorFlow library, so you can do AI or machine learning to study from start. And then with Google Cloud, you if you register, you can get 3 months free free of charge if you use that servers to build an application like web application or mobile application. Well, you build the models here in Google Colabs, but you can get the servers to save your data set or your what is it? API models and build your application system. Next, this is which my UNUSA students do in the lab, named Nadifulna Fadil. Here's AI, yeah, AI for detection garbage. Okay, please play the video. So he collect the data set for 12 item of garbage, and he do the detections for like this. It's battle. So it can using the camera for mobile phones, it can detect that that's a plastic bottle. Okay, I think that's all. But my talk today, and I'm thank you for the opportunity here, and I'm giving back to moderator. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation, Madam Rizky Putri Norma Budiarti. Okay, so alhamdulillah, we have already get the organizers from the 3 lecturers. So this time is for the Q&A session. I will call 2 questions for the first. Anyone who want to give questions for the lecturers? Anyone, please? Come on. Don't worry. Tidak perlu takut dan khawatir ya, Mas dan Mbak ya. Ini kesempatan langka, monggo bisa dimanfaatkan semaksimal mungkin. Siapa tahu nanti kan jenengan-jenengan akan ke Australia juga kan, studi lanjut gitu kan. Dan ini kesempatan bagus untuk membina relationship, networking dengan dosen-dosen, terutama dosen di luar negeri. It's a very rare opportunity, Mas dan Mbak. So please, anyone would like to give questions from the committee maybe? Dari panitia juga mungkin dipersilakan kalau ada. Anyone? Anyone? No? Okay. I think they are shy, Professor. Yeah. Yeah. I would like to give one question, Professor Srinata. Yeah. I'm a newbie in artificial intelligence and also machine learning, and I have read one novel book. The title of the book is Origin from Dan Brown, Professor. And then in that book, I get the information regarding the artificial intelligence. And yeah, in that book, the artificial intelligence is so smart. The name of the artificial intelligence is Winston, as far as I remember. And I just want to know one thing. Is it possible for the artificial intelligence or machine learning that can study or can get the data manually, automatically? Because as far as I know, for the artificial intelligence or machine learning, we should give the information, I mean data, so they can study about the data and they can give the decision based on the data. My question is whether artificial intelligence or machine learning can study by themselves, can study by automatically, can they do the improvement automatically? So it's my question. Thank you.
The moderator is trying to find out is it necessary to train for somebody to become intelligent? We are not. Most of us are intelligent by nature, right? So first time when I get a data, I try to make a rule. If that rule is not good, I modify my rule. If that rule is not good, I modify my rule. And if I make one rule, then say that that rule is not good enough, I add one more rule. So I can keep building up my rules. So I can learn whatever that is given to me. So that's how we try to make them as well here. So many times when we work with these intelligent control systems, we don't train them in advance. Only if you have got like deep neural networks, you need to train them in advance, or neural networks. But for fuzzy systems, we don't train them in advance. You start with no rules, you give a data, and there is an output first time. You get some output. Then you create a rule based on what output that you have got and the input that you have got. If that rule is not good, you modify the rule. If that rule is not sufficient, you build one more rule. So over the ages, we build thousands of rules like that. But then, as Ms. Kindi indicated in terms of LSTM, if we keep on building rules, we become difficult to live. We throw away some of the rules. Okay. We prune those rules which are not required, but we keep them aside. We don't just throw them out, because whatever we have learned in our childhood, if I scratch my head, I should be able to get it back. So we have a recall mechanism as well for that. So we try to find a recall mechanism for them as well, which is what we do. And in terms of neural networks also, we try to do that, whether we can add more neurons, less neurons, or whether we can cut off some layers. So we try to do that online based on the data that comes in. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the answer, Professor Srinata. Maybe from the Dr. Kinti or Madam Rizky, any other opinion or answers? That's right. From Dr. Kinti. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for the answer and opinions. Okay. Oh yeah. Please, Mas, and please introduce yourself first, yeah. Okay. Pakai ini aja berarti ya. Ini aja kalau gitu. Coba saya pegang.
Sini. Good afternoon, our lecturer, our dean, and professor. Our question is how to implementation and learn all of smart system that using all of artificial intelligence, just like neural network. But if we know Indonesia still outdated from Australian technology, are we need to learn this thing to modern and high-tech country to be successful master of artificial intelligence? Thank you, Master.
What is your name?
Cornelius Renaldi.
Excuse me?
Cornelius Renaldi.
Cornelius. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Mas Cornelius. So his name is Mr. Cornelius, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, bisa diulangi lagi pertanyaannya?
How to implementation and learn all of smart system that using all of just like neural network. But if we know Indonesia still outdated from Australian technology.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got your question. So his question is regarding the how to implement the system, artificial intelligence system. But Indonesia, unfortunately, is not good in technology, Professor. So, please.
There are so many things which we don't have. The world is very big, right? And the way the world works now is everything is connected. If I don't have something, I can take it from somebody else. Indonesia has got a lot of friends from which they can take. So when they want to implement something, like if Indonesia decides to implement something, they don't have to build everything from by themselves. They can always take it from somebody who has made it for them. The mobile phone that we have got now, everything is not made by us individually, right? So similarly, so any artificial intelligence technology also can be taken from other people. So you can always get it from somebody else. If you talk to me, I can tell you how to do it, right? So that's how everybody does. So we don't depend only on ourselves to do everything. We try to depend on everybody around us. Most of the work that I presented is not done by me. It's done by my students. And most of the students are from different parts of the world. I've got students from India. I've got students from Bangladesh. I've got students from Egypt. I've got students from Iran. I've got students from Yemen. I've got students from Indonesia. They all come together and work. Today, the world is one. So you can always get anything that you want. Does that answer? Thank you.
Maybe from the Dr. Kindi or Madam Rizky.
Well, I think in Indonesia, with the most thing we try is our willingness to learn, because AI or machine learning, we can learn it in internet, and we can also use Google Class for, like Mrs. Putri, it's free, everything is free. So the most important thing is our willingness to study.
Okay, maybe I think some answer. Find good teacher who have patience the same on AI. I think so you will learn it and collaborate it with her or his on the project, some projects, so you can give an insight while you learn AI. I think that's all.
Okay, thank you, lecturers, for your answer. Please, Mr. Cornelius, do you have any argument or some kind of the opinion? Yeah, it's a discussion, yeah. Don't worry about the
I
different
think
opinions.
it's amazing to our lecturer and professor to be. I am very appreciate of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please give applause to him. Okay, one more questions from the audience, please. Before I give back the microphone to the MC, please, one more question. Come on, come on. Ayo, Mbak. Apa? Oh yeah, please, from the committee.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Question from me. What is the relationship between Fuji system and artificial intelligence?
What is your name?
Yes, no.
What is your name?
Ainin Sofia.
Ayu
Ainin.
Sofia.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the question is, what is the relationship between fuzzy system and artificial intelligence? Correct? Okay. So please, Professor.
We all think as human beings in terms of rules, what I said. Everything in this world is by rules, right? So if you can make it the robot to think using the rules that are there, then it becomes intelligent. And if you can change those rules based on the situation that you have got, it becomes smart or the intelligent. Make sense? So when we say artificial intelligence, it is a very big word that we have got. Like control system is a very big thing that we talk about. In that fuzzy system is also one section of artificial intelligence, which can build in artificial intelligence into any system that is given to us. Make sense? Because artificial intelligence has come by saying that artificially can you create intelligence? And the intelligence is because of the human beings. So can we make anything to imitate like human beings is artificial intelligence. It can be built in any way. And the simplest way is by building similar rules as what we have got in our brain. If you ask me a question, you want an answer from me. If I ask the robot to move, it moves. If I ask a robot to take a photo, it takes a photo for me. So I build in a rule to say that if you have got voice control in your car, you say navigation. So that means it understands that the navigation screen has to come. So it interprets what you are trying to do in the form of a rule and try to tell you what it is being done. So most of the things that we do is by artificial intelligence, which are based in terms of the rules. In fact, AI started much earlier, about 30 years, 40 years back, people started talking about the AI. They used to call them as simply rule-based controllers. So they used to write thousands of rules to make system to work. But then we started saying that that is not right. So we started putting them in the form of fuzzy logic systems so that we can restrict or limit the number of rules. And that's how actually artificial intelligence started. Then we have got now other techniques that are there around. So everything else that you talk about is in terms of the rules only. A neural network is a rule-based mechanism. You give an input, it gives an output. If you don't give an input, it is not going to give you an output. Make sense?
Yes, thank you for the answer.
Thank you so much, Professor. Yeah, Miss Ainin, yeah. Any argument or opinion or feedback or comment?
Enough, sudah
Please.
paham.
Sabun? Okay. So yeah, please give applause to her at the end. Okay. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we have finished the Q&A session. Ladies and gentlemen, Bapak and Ibu, and Professor and lecturers, thank you so much for your presentation and sharing. It's really very helpful for us to improve ourselves, yeah. So, I will give back to the MC for this microphone. And once again, thank you very much. Wallahul muwafiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much. That's all the amazing explanation from the three speakers in front. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and the next agenda is photo session. I please to all the speakers to come forward to do photo session. Dimohon untuk semua peserta maju ke depan untuk melakukan foto bersama dengan dokter. Monggo silahkan maju ke depan. Please come forward to all participants to do photo session together. Come on. Yang perempuan di belakang, yang laki-laki di depan. Tapi kayak freestyle. Okay, thank you very much.